When life breaks you, it doesn't ask for permission, it just hits. It doesn't care about your plans, your dreams, or how good you are. One day you're on top, and the next day you're on your knees wondering if you can even stand again. I know that feeling. I've been there. I've tasted failure, rejection, doubt, and pain so sharp that it almost convinced me I was finished. But here's the truth: life breaking you is not the end, it is the beginning. The difference between the ones who rise and the ones who stay broken is simple. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even opportunity. It is the will to keep moving when everything inside you says stop. When you're broken, that's when your real strength is revealed. You don't build muscle by lifting light weights, you build it by breaking it down and forcing it to rebuild stronger. Life does the same thing to your spirit. If people will tell you that pain is something to avoid, that failure means you're not good enough, that setbacks mean you should quit. But let me tell you, pain is the greatest teacher. Every failure is a stepping stone. Every setback is a setup for your comeback. The only way you lose is if you decide to stop fighting. Think about it. The world respects the people who stood up when no one thought they could. The athletes who broke records after being told they were finished. The entrepreneurs who built empires from bankruptcy. The leaders who came from nothing but refused to stay there. That is what makes people legendary. So when life breaks you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? What can I learn? How can I rise? Use the pain as fuel. Use the failure as proof that you dared to try. Use the doubt as the fire that pushes you further than they thought possible. You want strength. Go through struggle. You want courage. Face fear. You want greatness. Endure pain. And when you feel like quitting, remember that the pain you're feeling today is building the future. You will thank yourself for tomorrow. I promise you, one day, you will look back at the moment life tried to break you, and you will smile. Because you'll realize it was the moment life was actually shaping you. You don't just survive the break, rise from it. Don't just take the hit, use it. You are not broken, you are being forged. Pain is not the enemy. It is the signal that growth is happening. Most people run from pain. They escape it, they numb it, they try to hide from it. But let me tell you something. Pain is not there to destroy you, it is there to shape you. Think about when you first walk into a gym. You lift the weights and it feels heavy, your muscles burn. They achy. Sometimes you even want to drop the bar and walk away. That burn, that pain is the exact signal that something powerful is happening inside your body. The fibers are tearing, but not to leave you weaker. They are tearing so they can grow back stronger, thicker, unshakable. Without that pain, there is no growth. Without the discomfort, there is no transformation. Life works exactly the same way. When you lose a job, when someone you trusted betrays you, when you fail in business, when you are rejected again and again, it feels like pain. It feels unbearable. Your heart aches, your mind screams, your confidence shakes. But that is life's version of the weight room. The pain is not meant to paralyze you. It is meant to push you beyond the limits you thought were permanent. Look around in your daily life. Everything you admire was born from pain. The athlete who breaks records doesn't do it because training was easy. He does it because he embraced the blisters, the sweat, the endless hours of sacrifice. The entrepreneur who built an empire didn't get there by comfort. They survived rejection, bankruptcy, ridicule, and nights of sleeping in their car. Yet they turned that pain into a weapon. Even in your own life, think about every time you faced hardship. Didn't it eventually teach you a lesson? Didn't it carve out a deeper strength you never knew you had? The truth is, the most dangerous thing is not pain. The most dangerous thing is comfort. Comfort keeps you the same. It convinces you to stay small. It whispers that you don't need to change. Pain does the opposite. It forces you to act. It demands that you adapt. It shows you where you are weak so you can build power in that exact spot. Imagine a person who avoids pain at all costs. They never take risks. They never chase a dream. They never step outside the safe little circle they built for themselves. Years pass and they are the same. No progress, no breakthroughs, no victories. Then imagine the person who feels pain but decides to keep going. Their heart is broken but they try again. Their business fails but they start another one. They fall on their face in front of others but they rise and stand taller. That person over time becomes unstoppable, not because life was easier for them, but because they chose to treat pain as a friend as a mentor, as the signal that growth is right around the corner. Pain is the raw material of greatness. When you feel it, don't curse it, don't run away, don't shut down. Lean into it, listen to it. Ask yourself what it is teaching you. That pain is the exact spot where your future strength is being built. And if you can endure it, if you can embrace it, then what once felt like breaking will one day feel like shaping. Failure is not final, it is feedback for your next move. Too many people believe that when they fail, it means the end of their journey, like the story has closed and nothing more can be written. But the truth is, failure is not a wall, it is a doorway. It is not the period at the end of the sentence. It is just a comma that tells you to pause, reflect, and then continue with more wisdom. Failure is life's way of giving you information, life's way of teaching you what didn't work so you can figure out what will. Think about when a child learns how to walk. They don't stand up and sprint on the first try. They stumble, they fall, they bruise their knees. If failure was final, no child would ever walk, no human would ever grow. But the child doesn't quit. They see the fall not as defeat, but as a signal, a lesson in balance, a clue on what to do differently the next time. Eventually, through countless tiny failures, they learn to walk, then to run. It is the same in every area of life. Failure is feedback. If you start a business and it collapses, it is not telling you to never try again. It is telling you that your strategy needs adjustment, that your execution wasn't aligned, that your vision needs more clarity. If you apply for a job and get rejected, it is not saying you are worthless. It is saying improve your skills, sharpen your presentation, show up stronger. When you confess your feelings and get turned down, it is not saying love is impossible for you. It is simply feedback that the timing or the person was not right. Imagine if Thomas Edison had stopped after his first failure while trying to invent the light bulb. History tells us he failed thousands of times, but he never labeled those moments as defeat. He called them discoveries, lessons of what doesn't work. Each failure was a map, guiding him closer to the answer. Without those failures, the world would still be in darkness. Even in your daily life, failure is constantly shaping you. Maybe you try a diet and it doesn't work, so you learn more about your body. Maybe you attempt to speak in public and stumble over your words, so you realize you need practice, courage, and preparation. Maybe you trust someone who betrays you, so you learn the value of discernment and boundaries. Every failure leaves behind a gift, a piece of wisdom that you can use if you choose not to quit. The ones who never grow are not the ones who fail. They are the ones who stop after failing. They take the feedback and treat it as a death sentence instead of a lesson. But the ones who rise, the ones who become unstoppable, are those who see failure as the compass pointing them to the right direction. They take the hit, they feel the sting, but they stand back up armed with knowledge they didn't have before. Failure is the universe asking you, how badly do you want it? Are you willing to adjust? Are you willing to grow? Are you willing to keep moving forward even when the path is filled with setbacks? If the answer is yes, then failure is never final. It is only a message written in bold letters saying, this is not the end. This is the next step. The ones who win are the ones who refuse to quit when they are broken. Life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. You think you are strong, you think you are ready, and then suddenly everything crashes. Your dreams collapse, your relationships fall apart, your finances dry up, or your health takes a hit. In those moments, most people feel shattered, like the ground under their feet has disappeared. And it is true, being broken is painful. It makes you question your worth, your ability, even your purpose. But here's the secret. Winning doesn't belong to the ones who never fall. It belongs to the ones who rise again, even when they are broken into pieces. Look at any champion in the world. Do you think they got there because they never faced defeat? No, they got there because defeat didn't have the power to keep them down. A boxer doesn't win because he never gets knocked out. He wins because he gets up when the world believes he's finished. A student doesn't succeed because every exam was easy. They succeed because after failing, they sat down, studied harder, and refused to let the failure define them. The truth is, you cannot call yourself strong until you've been broken and still chose to keep moving. Everyday life gives us examples of this. Think about the single mother who is abandoned, left alone with children to raise and bills to pay. Her heart is broken, her life feels crushed. but she chooses to keep going, to wake up early, to work, to sacrifice. And one day, her children grow and say, "Mom, you are our hero." That's victory born out of brokenness. Think about the man who loses his business, who watches everything he built crumble. For months he struggles, feels like nothing will work, but he doesn't quit. He learns, he reinvents, he builds again, and years later, he stands taller because he refused to give up when he was down. People often think that strength is about avoiding the fall, but real strength is surviving the fall. When you are broken, the world is watching. Your friends, your family, your enemies, even strangers. They wait to see if you will collapse or if you will rise. And when you rise, when you show that quitting is not an option, you inspire others who are broken too. Life will test you, it will shatter you, it will try to convince you that it's over. But winning belongs to the stubborn, the relentless, the ones who say, "I may be broken, but I'm not done." Every scar becomes proof of your fight. Every setback becomes part of your story. And the ones who win are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who were broken, but refused to quit. Every struggle is a hidden opportunity to rebuild stronger. Most people see struggle as a curse, as a punishment, as something that steals their peace and destroys their plans. But if you look closer, you will see that every struggle carries within it the seed of transformation. Struggle strips you of comfort. It shakes you out of routines. It forces you to discover strength you didn't even know you had. Without struggle, there is no depth, no resilience, no true power. Think about when a seed is planted in the soil. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening, but deep underground, the seed is struggling. It pushes through the heavy dirt, fighting against the weight above it, stretching toward the light it has never seen. That struggle in the dark is what makes it strong enough to break through and grow into a tree. In the same way, your struggles are the soil pressing against you, shaping you, preparing you to break through into the light of your potential. In daily life, we all face struggles. Maybe you are struggling financially, trying to make ends meet, wondering how you will pay the bills. It feels heavy, but in that struggle you learn creativity, discipline, the value of persistence. Maybe you are struggling in relationships, dealing with heartbreak or betrayal. It hurts, but that struggle teaches you self-respect, boundaries, and the ability to love yourself first. Maybe you are struggling at school, at work, or in your business, failing more than succeeding. That struggle is sharpening your mind, forcing you to think differently, preparing you for breakthroughs that comfort could never bring. Look at anyone who has achieved greatness, and you will see that their story is built on struggle. The athlete who trains until his body aches, pushing past exhaustion, turns that struggle into glory on the field. The writer who faces rejection after rejection but refuses to stop writing, turns that struggle into a masterpiece that inspires the world. The ordinary person who faces illness, loss, or tragedy but keeps fighting day by day, turns that struggle into a living example of courage that others look up to. The opportunity is hidden because most people give up too soon. They feel the pressure, they face the obstacles, and they assume it means stop. But the truth is, struggle is not a signal to quit, it is an invitation to grow. It is life asking you, how badly do you want this? How much are you willing to endure? How far can you push yourself? The ones who accept the invitation discover that the pain, the tears, the exhaustion, all become the foundation of a strength that can never be shaken. When you are in the middle of struggle, you may not see the opportunity yet. It feels unfair, it feels endless, it feels like too much to carry. But later, when you look back, you realize the struggle gave you skills, resilience, perspective, and a spirit that could not be broken. Struggle is the hidden gift, and those who embrace it rebuild themselves into something stronger than they ever imagined. Doubt from others should be used as fuel to prove them wrong. Every single person who has ever dared to dream big has faced doubt. People will look at you and tell you that you are not capable, that you don't have what it takes, that you are aiming too high. They will laugh at your plans, they will whisper behind your back. Some will even say it directly to your face. And in that moment you have a choice. You can let their doubt break you, or you can turn it into fire that pushes you beyond their imagination. Doubt is like weight in the gym. When people doubt you, they are putting resistance on your dreams. But resistance is exactly what builds muscle. Think about it, when you lift heavy weights, it hurts, it burns, but it makes you grow stronger. The same way, when people doubt you, it is not a sign that you should stop. It is a challenge, an opportunity to show them who you really are. Look at the greatest stories in everyday life. The student who was told they would never pass the exam, yet stayed up nights, studied harder, and walked across the stage with a degree. The young athlete who was told they were too small, too weak, not good enough, yet trained every single day until they dominated the field. The entrepreneur who was laughed at when they shared their vision, who was told their idea would never work, yet turned that very idea into a company that changed lives. All of these victories were born out of doubt. The truth is, doubt is powerful energy. Most people take it and let it crush them. They hear the voices saying you can't, and they believe it. But the ones who rise, the ones who win, they take that same doubt and flip it. They say, thank you for doubting me, now watch me. They use it as motivation to go further, to push harder, to refuse to quit. In your daily life, you may face people who don't believe in you. Maybe your family thinks your dream is unrealistic. Maybe your coworkers think you're not capable of leading. Maybe your friends think your goals are too ambitious. Let their voices echo, not as discouragement, but as fuel. Every time they say you can't, turn it into I will. Every time they laugh, let it remind you to stay consistent. Every time they doubt you, let it light the fire inside you to prove them wrong. Remember, people's doubt has nothing to do with your ability. It has everything to do with their own limits. They can't see your vision. They can't feel your hunger. They can't measure your drive. That is why you must never let the doubt define you. Instead, let it become the soundtrack to your journey, a constant reminder that you are doing something worth fighting for, something that challenges the beliefs of others. Their doubt is the weight, your determination is the strength, and together they build the unshakable force that makes you unstoppable. Life's hardest hits are the training ground for true greatness. Every time life knocks you down, it feels unfair, it feels heavy, it feels like you are being punished. But what if those hits were not punishment? What if they were preparation? Think about the training of a soldier, the training of an athlete, the training of anyone who wants to master their craft. The training is never easy. It is built around pushing you to your limits, breaking you down so you can be rebuilt stronger. Life does the exact same thing. It trains you through hardship, through loss, through setbacks, through pain. When you step into a gym, you don't grow by lifting what is comfortable. You grow by lifting what challenges you. Your muscles scream. Your body wants to quit, but that stress, that pressure, that burn is what forces growth. Life is the greatest gym you will ever enter. Every heartbreak, every failure, every rejection, every loss, those are the weights life puts in your hands. The question is, will you drop them and walk away? Or will you push through, rep after rep, until you come out stronger than ever? Look around at people you admire. The champions of sports, the leaders of business, the creators of art, the warriors of life. Every single one of them has a story of getting hit hard. They lost when everyone thought they would win. They failed when the world was watching. They were told they were finished. And yet those moments became the turning points, not because the hits stopped coming, but because they decided to use those hits as training instead of tragedy. Even in daily life, you see it everywhere. The student who fails an exam and feels crushed, but instead of giving up, they study harder, they adjust their approach, and the next time they succeed. The worker who gets fired and feels humiliated, but instead of staying broken, they use that moment to sharpen their skills, and eventually they land a job that fits their potential. The person who goes through heartbreak and feels shattered, but instead of closing themselves off forever, they rebuild their heart and learn how to love stronger, wiser, deeper. These are all examples of how life's hardest hits are not endings, they are training sessions. True greatness is never built in comfort. Comfort makes you soft. Struggle makes you solid. Comfort keeps you average. Hardship turns you into someone extraordinary. When life hits you hard, it is testing your willpower, your resilience, your hunger. It is asking you if you are serious about your dream, if you are willing to fight for it when it hurts, when it seems impossible, when everyone else would quit. Those hits that make you fall to your knees, those sleepless nights, those moments of doubt, they are not there to destroy you. They are there to prepare you. Life is shaping you the way fire shapes steel, the way pressure shapes diamonds, the way storms shape the strongest trees. Every hit is proof that greatness is being forged inside you right now. When life breaks you, don't shrink, expand. Don't collapse, rise. Don't just survive, dominate. Everyone at some point feels broken. It might be from losing someone you love, from chasing a dream that crumbles right in front of you, from working so hard and still ending up with nothing in your hands. Being broken is one of the most painful feelings. It's like your heart and spirit are shattered into pieces too small to put back together. But the truth is, when life breaks you, it is giving you the greatest invitation of all, the invitation to grow beyond what you thought possible. Most people, when they are broken, they shrink. They give up on their dreams. They stop trusting. They stop trying. They let the weight of the pain keep them small. But those who rise above, those who inspire generations, they take the moment of breaking and they use it as fuel. They expand their vision. They expand their strength. They expand their determination. When life tries to break you, you have to respond not by becoming less, but by becoming more. Look at nature for the best examples. When a storm breaks a tree, some branches fall, but the roots dig deeper. The tree learns to anchor itself stronger than before. When a piece of metal is broken and reforged in fire, it doesn't become weaker, it becomes sharper, unbreakable. Even in your daily life, think about the times you felt broken. Maybe you failed in school, maybe you lost your job, maybe your heart was crushed. Yet those same moments taught you lessons you could never have learned in comfort. They forced you to grow, to find courage, to develop resilience. Think about an athlete who tears a muscle. In the beginning, the pain is unbearable. It feels like the end of their career. But through recovery, through discipline, through pushing past the pain, the muscle grows back even stronger, more resistant, more powerful. Life is the same. It breaks you, but if you choose to rise, you don't just come back to who you were. You come back stronger than you ever thought you could be. The key is not to settle for survival. Survival means you take the hit and you live, but domination means you take the hit and you rise to levels no one believed you could. Domination means you use the pain as proof that nothing can stop you. Domination means you rebuild your life in such a way that the break becomes your greatest story, not your deepest scar. Every great story of success has a moment of breaking in it. The billionaire who was once bankrupt, the champion who was once defeated, the leader who was once doubted. They all faced breaking points. The difference is they didn't let the break end them, they let it transform them. They refused to collapse, they refused to shrink, they chose to rise and dominate their challenges. And in doing so, they became legends in the end. Life is not measured by how many times you were never touched, never scared, never tested. It is measured by how many times you fell and had the courage to rise again. People will remember not the moments you were comfortable, but the moments you stood tall after being broken. They will remember the fire in your eyes when the world thought you had nothing left. They will remember how you refused to let the story end when life tried to close the book on you. Greatness is not born in the shadows of comfort. It is forged in the flames of adversity. It is shaped in the moments when you thought you could not go on but still took one more step. When life breaks you, you must whisper to yourself, this is not the end, this is the beginning of a stronger me. You must look at the pain not as a punishment, but as a gift. You must see every scar not as a wound, but as a medal of honor, proof that you have lived, proof that you have fought, proof that you refuse to surrender. Scars are not signs of weakness, they are signs of survival, and survival is the seed of triumph. The truth is, no one escapes the storms of life. Some drown, some hide, but the ones who rise are those who learn to dance in the rain. When the weight of failure pushes you down, you push back harder. When the whispers of doubt surround you, you turn them into a roar that silences every voice. When people say you can't, you stand up and declare, just watch me. Every mountain that stands before you is not there to block your path. It is there to prove how high you are willing to climb. Every closed door is not rejection. It is redirection towards something greater. Every broken moment is not your ending. It is the raw material that builds your new beginning. The same fire that melts steel also forges the sword. The same storm that destroys also clears the way for new growth. The same pain that makes you cry will one day make you wise. Remember, champions are not born from victories. They are born from defeats. They are shaped by the nights of silence when nobody believed in them. They are built in the moments of rejection when their worth was questioned. They are defined by the battles no one saw, the sweat, the tears, the sacrifices. The glory you see is only the surface, but beneath it lies a foundation of relentless persistence. So when life breaks you, rise. When life pushes you to your knees, stand taller than before. When life whispers that you are done, answer back with action so loud that it drowns every doubt. You are not here to simply exist, you are here to conquer. You are not here to barely survive, you are here to dominate. Let your pain become your weapon, let your struggle become your story, let your scars become your strength. One day you will look back at this chapter and realize it was the turning point, the moment that defined you, the moment when life tried to crush you, but instead carved you into something unbreakable. Never forget, the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. Pressure turns coal into diamonds, and fire turns ordinary iron into unshakable steel. You are stronger than you know, braver than you feel, and greater than you imagine. Life can break you, but only you can decide whether you stay broken or rise to become unstoppable.